I strongly dislike something that's clickbaity, something that somebody does or a company does or whoever it may be just does something to get attention. And that has to be, there's no other explanation for it, that has to be what Bleacher Report is doing by posting their top 50 NBA players of all time. It has to be. Because while this is a complete opinion-based list, as are all lists for players and teams and coaches and things in sports, some things should be beyond debate. And clearly, and I'm not using his name, because I don't want to give him any credit, it's bad enough that I got to tell you that it's Bleacher Report, they have to be putting this out for extra attention, extra clicks, extra play on social media, whatever you want to call it. They can't actually believe the list that they put out there into the universe for all of us to read, dissect, and debate. And that's the genius of it. They can just sit there and say, well, it's my opinion. I think that David Robinson is better than Kobe Bryant in his career. Well, anyone who's ever watched an NBA game as good, as great as David Robinson was, and I'm actually a David Robinson fan, no one in their right mind out of David Robinson and his family will argue that he had a better career and was a better player than Kobe Bryant. Just, there's no way you can argue that point. So there are a lot of egregious things that happen in this article and in this list, one of them being the players that are ranked way too high, way too low, and then some that were left off this list altogether. So I can't remember every single egregious note that happened in any direction, but I'm going to try to highlight really quickly the worst. Again, I'll use the word one more time because it's the most appropriate word for this article: egregious. Kobe Bryant is ranked 14th on this list, behind David Robinson, behind Stephen Curry. Okay, I know he's the greatest shooter of all time, I can admit that. I know he has multiple championships with the Warriors, one of the best teams in NBA history. But the guy has to play 5 to 7 more years to climb into the top 10, and right now Steph Curry, ranked number 10, is also a travesty. So the most egregious thing that happens on this whole list is the fact that Kobe Bryant is ranked number 14 and not number 6 or 7 where he belongs. Now, I like Shaq a lot also, but to have him number 6 all time, have Olajuwon somewhere between 11, 12, and 13, and then have Kobe Bryant 14, those things don't jive. Those things don't mix. Kobe and Shaq played on the same team, and they should be paired and connected together forever. Hakeem, Olajuwon, and Shaq played the same position in the same era. I think it's a very, very close debate. One wins 4 titles, one wins 2. One is a little bit more statistically dominating than the other. Hakeem with all the blocks, better field goal percentage and shooting percentage and all the free throw percentage and all these things for Hakeem. Hakeem the Dream, he was the guy who capitalized on winning titles when Jordan was not in the league. Those guys should be tied at the hip. They should be 1 or 2 spots from each other, not like 6 spots from each other. There's many, many, many other ridiculous things that happen with this list. Bill Walton, okay? No disrespect, okay? I love when he tells you to throw it down, big man. And he's one of the best college basketball players of all time. But to have this man 37 or 39 or whatever he was on this list, you're not on the list. Bill Walton, you're not on the 50 greatest NBA players of all time. You're just not. And while you have guys like Isaiah Thomas, 47, Isaiah Thomas is a top 5 point guard of all time. He won back-to-back titles. He was part of the Bad Boys Pistons who beat up on Jordan. And Isaiah Thomas's career only got derailed due to injury, just like Larry Bird. Okay, and I'm not saying that Isaiah Thomas should be number 5 all time, like Larry Bird is on this list, because that's almost right. But Isaiah Thomas is a top 20 NBA player of all time without debate, without fail. So I've already retweeted this list at approximately 4 to 4:30 in the morning. It's now 6:49 in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday morning. You gotta go check out the list. Try not to throw up in your brain, because right now I'm having a violent reaction to this list. And the gentleman who wrote this list should be ashamed of himself, as should Bleacher Report. So go check it out. Get at me on YouTube, the Dave Talk Sports YouTube channel. Post in the comments below the most egregious things of this list. I'm going to keep this going all weekend. So check back to Dave Talk Sports. I'm your host, Dave Ettinger of CBS Sports Radio Network. You can find me on Twitter as well at Dave Ettinger2. Until tomorrow, where we continue this discussion, please try to enjoy your weekend. Don't throw up in your brain. See ya!